So what's up? So I can feel a projection and an attachment on my son's father. Oh, now the dog running away. What's up? Whatever. What are the messages? What are the messages? What are the messages? I am not feeling his energy, so I don't know what the fuck is going on. And he turned on this pot. Hold on. Oh, he got water in there. There's something here about an offer. I think it's something practical, like an offer of like friendship. There may be something here about cooking. Is somebody a chef or something? Or they're like a really good cook? Uh-oh. Here's that death card in reverse again. It fell out in reverse. So somebody on the outside is not letting go. This doesn't feel like a good letting go. It feels like it's causing some type of anguish or pain with not letting go. It's like frustration. Anyway, in the position of the crown for who this is for, oh my goodness. You have the Ace of Wands in the position of your crown. Ooh. Then you got Ace of Swords too. Then you got the King of Pentacles. Then you have Six of Cups, Hermit, Nine of Cups in reverse. Okay. A King of Wands in reverse. So the reversals are the past. This kind of looked like two men were competing. But it's not necessarily a competition. It's like somebody old. It's like somebody old coming back, and then but there's somebody new. You know, it's given. You know, the King of Pentacles. You know, I never knew how dark, you know, the earth signs can go, but it absolutely makes sense because just like with the ocean, the deeper you go, the darker it gets. Just like when you drill a hole into the wall, it's like the darker it gets. Not a wall, but the ground, you know. I think that the King of Wands feels rejected, but it's kind of like it's not a rejection, it's just a no, and maybe it's like not right now. I don't know. There's some unfinished business between the King of Wands. To me, it feels like it's over. And it's like this person just popped up. So there are two people, this King of Wands person, and then you have this Death in Reverse energy. Like these two individuals have the same thing in common. It's kind of like they always want to be able to re-enter somebody's life no matter what. So that's like Scorpio energy. Scorpio is like that. Okay. It's kind of like I feel like this person, the death card in reverse, I feel like that's a black person. I feel like it's a black man. I feel like these are all men. Okay. So this is a black man. And then I feel like the King of Wands in reverse, I feel like that's a white guy. So it's like these two individuals, in a way, they're a lot alike, and they're kind of like, they share a characteristic of, I'm going to say, entitlement. But it's not giving me the arrogance of entitlement. It's giving me more so of, it's given devotion, but it's given like more of an immature understanding of devotion, which means that, it just comes off like it's like they take people's kindness for weakness. If somebody it's like if they know somebody likes them and cares a lot about them, blah, 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 they assume that that person is always going to be accessible to them. And so I feel like somebody is just like, like no access, like things have been cut off. When it comes to this King of Wands, though, there's something here. The King of Wands just wants some type of, I don't know. It's kind of like this person came in and they came in with these expectations, and somebody was just like, okay, well, I have something going on, like they didn't even call. Like, okay, so let's say there's a woman and she's with a new guy, and then the old guy, the ex, pops up, right? So like the ex don't even call. He don't even call to say, hey, can I see you? Can we talk? Can we meet somewhere mutual? It's like this person just pops up over her home, over her house. Okay, so there are some serious situations going on with this woman and this new love. Okay, I don't know. I just have a feeling like this new love, he can be dangerous. Okay, so this woman knows that. All right. So obviously, I mean, he's not a threat. It's kind of like, he's a good guy, but don't fuck with him. It's given something like no bullshit. This is not the type of person to where they're going to argue with you. Half of the time, they're not even going to say anything to you. They're going to look at you. And it's kind of like the more silent they get, the more scarier it gets when it comes to this man. So, this woman, she really likes this guy. And they're in the beginning phases, the infatuation. We have a lot of aces. We have 2 aces here. Okay. I feel like the Death card in reverse, that may have been somebody that she had been courting or who was courting her, but it just didn't work out. So this ex is from the past, like let's say like a year or 2 ago. Okay, so she was able to move on. She met this guy, And maybe her and this guy have been talking, getting to know each other for like 6 months, but it didn't work. So she's in the process, in the trend, she's letting go of this 6 month guy, but he won't let go. You know, I kind of, I pick up from him like he's a bad boy. He's like a bad, like, how women like the bad boys. He's not a bad man. He's a bad boy. I don't know how to explain the shit. Like he's like rough. Um, let's just say he's just like very manly, very mannish. So, he deals with a lot of ego, we'll say. Like he thinks that he's all that, and when it comes to women, it's kind of like he's irresistible. You know, he has this bad boy image, and he's very like self fulfilling. I don't know. It's all about him. He's very selfish. Like I pick up on the things that this woman, wasn't feeling about this guy. You know, she's not upset. She's not resentful, but it's kind of like no. And then there's kind of like this little tick within her. She's really upset because it's just like, bruh, I wasted like 6 months of my life, like with dealing with this guy. Dealing with this guy. It's a very small rage that I pick up within her. But that's because she's mad at herself for allowing that shit to go on for so long. So she's not upset with this man, but I do feel like this man is upset with her. And it's kind of like it's like he just refuses to leave her alone. She has already moved on, but he is still holding on. It's kind of like he's trying to call, but she's not picking up the phone. You know what I'm saying? He may know her whereabouts. He may be like trying to run into her, but she's with somebody new. This new person is totally new for her, period. So, he has her full attention. So her energy is different. Her energy is new. Like the moves that she's making, her whereabouts, how she's commuting, it, like I said, it's new energy for her. With the Ace of Swords there, she's thinking certain things that she used to do. I don't know. I feel like it has a lot to do with this Death card in reverse person. I don't know. It just seems like he wasn't really beneficial to her. And it just kind of seems like a lot of her, whatever has been stripped or taken from her, it's like this new person that's entering. This new person it's like he's bringing back, it's like he's putting her like back together. It's not intentionally. It doesn't look that way. It's just that this person with the Six of Cups here, this person helps her to remind her of who she truly is. And it's kind of like you had no business dealing with that person or that type of a person in the first place. But that tells us, the woman, she's not judgmental. She's open to her options. And she's open to exploring, even though she does have this like little rage inside of her for wasting her time with this individual. Okay, so in a way, I feel like her ex and this Death card in reverse person, they have a connection. They know each other. They know about each other. I don't even, it's like, well, did the ex send this person in? Like, is he paying this guy to come in? And this guy came in on a mission when he came to this woman and ended up like falling in love with her, but didn't know how to deal with the love. I don't know. I picked that up though. So, that guy, it's kind of like he was trying to play both sides because he was sent in as a decoy, but it's like he ended up falling in love with her. So he deals with this confliction. Like there's just like a lot of negative mental activity that goes on inside of this person's head, this man's head. Because I just hear, I'm good enough for her. I could be with her. I should be with her. But at the same time, he deals with self-esteem issues to where he wants to try to put her into some type of competition. So it's like he really likes her, but he wants her to think that he doesn't like her. He may even be like seriously in love with her, but there's something about her to where he has this entitlement. He has like these expectations. It's just like you came in here, you came in to take her out. You end up falling in love with her and you're so fucked up because if you was to tell her the truth, it's kind of like he wishes he would have entered her life differently. He wished that he would have known her. So in a way, it's like he's trying to do everything in which that he can to not deal with the guilt and trying to avoid telling her the truth of why he entered into her life in the first place. It was all kind of like a setup. So God, it's a lot going on. It's a lot going on with this guy over here. His head, his feelings, everything is all over the place. I feel like these two individuals are exhausted. They are extremely exhausted. This woman, she's exhausted too, but with her connecting with this new person, like I said, it's giving. He's giving. And then on top of that, like, he's not playing. Because there's something dangerous about this man. It doesn't feel threatening. It just, like I said, it just feels like he don't play. He don't take no shit. I think that he wants to take things to the next level with this woman too. Okay. And he's trying to get her alone. Wow. I think that this guy really likes this woman. I don't think that she understands. I don't think that she really understands because of the shit that she's come out of, and it's kind of like she's still trying to come out of it. But you have this guy, it's just like he will not let go. It's like, I guess he has a point to prove, and it's just like, it's over. It's already dead. It already died. The situation already died. It's over, but he's not letting go. He's not letting go. Okay. So, I mean, this new love, this newness that's going on here, I mean, it's given sexy, it's given, like the energy is sexy. His mind is sexy. You know, I think that he's a freak, but I think that he hides that shit very well. And there's a part of me that feels like he has it's kind of like this woman brings out a different like beast in him. You know, maybe he's dealt with women and it's just like, "Oh, you know, you need to be more gentle. It needs to be more simple." And it's nothing wrong with that cuz to me cuz to me, I know cuz I'm making the voice right. But I mean to me, shit, I don't know. Me personally, I don't. As long as you get the job done, I don't care how you do it. You understand what I'm saying? But it's giving me like this man. It's giving me like this man. He, you know, he's kind of he's been with women to where he's had to hold back. So when it comes to this woman, it's just like he is not trying to hold back. You know, I think he makes her shy. I think he makes her shy, so it's kind of like he has to warm up. You know, he has to. I don't know why it's giving sex, and I just pick up on the vagina. I think that this man may have like sex in the vagina down to a science. You know, I don't know why I'm picking that up, but I'm definitely picking that. He must like be like a he must be like, I'm gonna tell you, like quote unquote nerdy guys, they're like the freaks. I'm trying to tell you. Freaks. Like the real smart, you know, like when you went to school and like the real smart nerdy guy, like bruh, those are the fucking freaks. Those are the freaks. That's what it's giving. It's kind of giving this. So, you know, it's giving chemistry because just like I told you, I picked up that he's kind of dangerous. You know, he doesn't take no shit. But then on top of that, he has this real wild, freaky side. You know, and he may be like very smart. Most, you know, very smart, like quote unquote, like nerdy people, they don't come off like intimidating. You know, there's mm, I pick up he's very friendly. He's very friendly. He's very helpful. He, you know, he's dependable. Um, I feel weird saying that, you know, because I'm always encouraging people to be independent, even when you have somebody who's very dependable. You know, um, you still want to make life a little easier for them with not having to be so dependent upon them, even if they do like it or they do enjoy it. You know, me personally, I get it on both sides of the coin, but when I deal with somebody who's very dependable, from my observation, you know, it just kind of always seems like they're always running around and being there for other people. And I mean, some people really enjoy doing that, being that, you know, but when I see stuff like that, you know, it kind of encourages me more to be, you know, just a little more independent because it's just like, wow, you know, this person, you know, they're over here, they're over there. When this person needs them, they're there, you know. So let me make life a little easier for them to where, you know, I'm one less person that has to depend on this person, you know. This dude, he's given, it's like a small package but a big gift. So that's what I'm saying. It's like when you see him, you wouldn't think that he's all of that. It's given he's like all of that. I don't know what all of that is, you know, but he's given don't get it fucked up. That's what he's given. That's what he's given. Oh my god. So I'm thinking about this guy. at a funeral home, at the funeral home I used to work at, right? So he's a Taurus, right? So I fucking love this dude. His name was Steve. He was a white guy. I loved him. I loved working with him. He was my favorite fucking person. And Steve was just so wonderful and so nice. But you could tell, like, don't fuck with Steve. Because as nice, as funny, as charismatic as he was, it's kind of like you could just see the shift in him when he felt like somebody was trying to play him, or when he felt like somebody was being trying to like undermine him or be a smart ass. I could see it in his eyes. I could see it in his eye, because you know how sometimes people, they try to play it off like, oh, they don't care. Like, Steve was not like that. But at the same time, Steve he wasn't going to ha and kiki about it, and he wasn't going to snap about it neither. I don't know how to explain that shit. I was just like, oh my God, did I just see that? It's like a shift. He was very harmonized. It was so smooth the way he would shift, because it's kind of like, don't talk to me like that again. You know what I mean? You know? And it was a woman, she just kept repeating herself. She just kept repeating herself, and he just like, I heard you the first time. It was just, I don't know. He just slipped in this, I don't know. I was like, oh my goodness. So that attracted me to him, right? So I started to get to know Steve, a little bit more. And I came to find out Steve was wild. You know, he was very compassionate, very patient. He was also very helpful, because he told me about a position that he had. He was in a high position, and there was this guy. This guy kept showing up late for work. So, he told the guy he was going to have to fire him if he keep doing the shit. So, okay, so I had to relocate because my son's father walked in, and he's about to start cooking, so I'm going to be interrupted in the living room. I don't feel like going in his room because there's something in there, and I just don't feel like it right. I don't feel like it right now. Not today. Oh God, not today. So anyway, getting back to Steve. So, he buys this guy an alarm clock. So he tells the guy, he says, you have no excuse. If you show up here late tomorrow, you're fired. And the guy ended up showing up late. So, like Steve had to fire him. So I'm just like, wow. It was, his personality it was very admirable, because I'm just like, how the fuck do you do that? Because, they would have been fired. I damn sure wouldn't have bought them an alarm clock, but if I was the person on the other end, I would have appreciated my boss, for one, keeping it real with me like that. And then on top of that, showing me that he really doesn't want to fire me. He appreciates me being there. And so he's going to come out of his pocket personally and buy me an alarm clock. You know what I'm saying? So I was just like, wow. So, I was like, wow, Steve's a good guy. But I'm trying to tell you, he did not, and the thing, Steve couldn't hear that good. But I tell you, he would catch certain shit. He would catch certain shit. He would catch certain shit. Okay. I was like, boy, Steve is funny. He is funny. So, I am, I'm kind of getting like those Taurus vibes. And I keep seeing like bumper stickers with like turtles on them. But it's like multiple turtles. It's not just a turtle. At one point in time, I just kept seeing like crabs, like a crab. So, oh God. So, obviously we're dealing with a healthy Taurus, a healthy turtle, you know. So, I don't know. Cause we got strong, you got some strong Virgo up in here too. Okay. It's just so many cards of nudity, like this guy is new. In my Six of Cup cards, you have this guy, he's helping this woman out of the water, but he's like asshole naked, Then in the King of Pentacle card, it's just like he's asshole naked. It's just, you know? But then when it comes to the Ace of Swords and then the Hermit, it's like fully dressed. So there's like, that's why I said there's something about him is, he's serious. Like, you have to take him serious. You have to know when he's serious and when he's laid back and down to earth. You know what I mean? That's why I said, to sum it up in a nutshell, this is the type of person to where it's just like, you may see certain things, you may know certain things about me, but do not get it fucked up. You know what I'm saying? So the passion card is throwing me off the most, you know. I think that when it comes to this woman, that's, maybe he probably doesn't get up easily. He probably, I don't think that he's burnt out. And I don't think that he's the type of guy that sleeps around. I think, he may scare women, you know, or I think it's like he scares women because it's kind of like from the jump start, women already know that they're not going to have any type of like control or influence over him. So I think that that is something about him that intimidates women. And it's kind of like he doesn't even have to say anything. It's kind of like they just are enlightened about that shit like right away. You know, and until they get more into getting to know him and talking to him, it's kind of like they begin to understand where that enlightenment comes from. So, it's kind of like he's letting people know what time it is without even speaking. That's why I said it's something about him to that's why I said, he be giving looks, he go quiet, you know. You know, I told you, it's like, don't fuck with me, don't get it fucked up. That's that's the best way that I could put it. So, it's not like, oh, he's like this big scary monster asshole man. No, it's just his energy that should be speaking. And that shit loud as hell. So, and I think that he may have a tendency, I think that he can be picky. Okay? I think that he's picky. It's kind of like, I don't know. Well, he knows what he likes and what turns him on or whatever, but I feel like he's not an easy man. I feel like he is not an easy man at all. I don't know if it's because he's been through things. I don't know if it's because of his experience. It's just, to me, it comes off as depth. That's what it comes off to me as. It's somebody to where it's like he's deep. It's I don't know. It's deep and it's depth. He's like a soul brother. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I can have fun. but he's like a very rooted person. Okay. So, um, what else? So, when it comes to this woman, it's like she excites him, you know? Um, I don't know. It kind of works backwards. Cause most men, it's like the mental stimulation has a lot to do with, the tingling in the genitals. But it's kind of like with this guy, it's like this woman, it's like she tickles his genitals, and it does something to his mind. Like how they say men think with one head. It's kind of like both of his heads are in the same place. I don't know. It's weird. I don't know how to explain the shit. You know? So of course I feel like he has like sexual thoughts. He's really excited. I'm trying to tell you, he does not get excited. So he knows he's somebody, he knows who he is, he knows what he's what I guarantee he's probably like very structured, you know? At the same time, I feel like that's why he's not easy either. Okay. So oh um but it's given passion, he's a very passionate person. I just feel like on the surface it's like a wall. He just seems like a wall. If you don't know him, you don't know that he has a sense of humor. You don't know that he's down to earth. You don't know that he has hobbies and talents and skills and all this type of stuff. There's a lot that you will not know about this man, like just by like looking at them, or even encounter, like if you work with this person, you're going to get the work version of them, and that's going to be it. So we could say he's guarded, but it's not giving guarded. It's given, I don't want to be fucked with, you know. So it is giving me a little bit of confliction within his personality, right? Because it's kind of like I go through this shit too. It's like when I meet people, I do want to be polite and pleasant. But for a lot of people, the moment that I get around them, I'm just like, ugh, this energy is ridiculous. Like I can't take it. You know, it's just like, ugh, I don't like it. I'm just meeting them. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I can't come off rude. I don't want to be a bitch right away, but at the same time, I don't want to sit up here and be phony and be all, hey, like, how you doing? You know what I'm saying? I don't want to do that. And it irritates the fuck out of me, you know? Because then it's kind of like when you first meet people and you don't necessarily come off pleasant, immediately they just judge you like something is wrong with you. But I do not have like the energy to sit there and fake like, oh, hey, you know what I mean? I will shut down. It's like emotionally I shut down because there's something fucked up about this person emotionally. And sometimes, oh God, I, I don't know. I should not be comparing myself. I should not be saying anything because what I go I don't know if this man is like intuitive like that. I don't know if he's empathetic. I do pick up he's a dark empath though. He has a tendency to fall into dark spaces a lot. You know, when you are like a dark empath, you can pick up on the most terriblest shit going on within the world. And half the time you don't even know. You don't even know that you're picking up on it, but you are. Like Stupid shit that goes on with human beings is very disturbing. Very disturbing to dark empaths. All these hidden secrets. Dark empaths can feel all of that. That's why with some people, they snap. They snap. It's too intense, it's too much pressure. The hate is too much to hold without alchemizing it. So when you don't know that you're a dark empath, you're sitting up there and you're just absorbing all of the negativity. You're absorbing all of the trauma, all of that negative bullshit, all of the people's cries and the children that are going neglected and they're hungry and they're starving. Like, you feel that shit. It's deep. This person is deep. Okay, so I'm just telling you, like, with me, it's emotional. Like, when I can sense that people are not emotionally well, I have a tendency to shut down. And if I try to sit there and pretend and be fake, I find myself becoming drained. When it comes to this man, it's like he already knows. It's like he knows. I don't know, child. He knows. I don't know how he knows. But if people are picking up on, if people, when they experience him, if they are enlightened by him right away, then he's working with something. He's working with something. He knows something. He got some type of 7th, 8th, 10th sense. You know what I'm saying? He knows. So it's like with him, you're not always going to get that warm, you're not going to get that warm, oh, it's great to meet you type shit when you first meet him. It's kind of like they have to scope you out. Like, he'll be quiet because he's observant, he's listening. At the same time, he may be studying like your body language or some type of shit. He's an observer, he's quiet. So it's kind of like, in order to get to know me, you have to be granted access. It's a privilege to get to know me, regardless of what you think or what you see from me. Like, people may think that he comes off bougie, but he is a man of self-worth and self-value. So no, he does come off like, yeah, it's given bougie. Does come off like bougie. Let's just sum it up. He's like a dynamic personality. That's the best way that I can put it. It's very dynamic. And he has his eyes set on this woman. And, I feel like he's very sexually attracted to this woman. So, she has to work on, it's like she has to work on letting down her guards, because it's coming off like, it's like she's asking herself, is he really attracted to me? That's how shit's coming off. It's just like, does he really feel that way about me? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, well, it's like it makes her curious. Like, she wants to ask questions. What makes you, like, what is it about me that makes you feel this way? Like, it's unbelievable. But see, that tells me that this man, he sees this woman in a light to where she doesn't see herself. Oh my God, I'm about to get emotional. Oh, fuck. Not outside. Not outside. I don't got no tents in my car. Oh my goodness. Oh my God. Not in the car. Right. So, and that's what I'm saying, because he be enlightening people. So it's kind of like, so it's he sees her in a way that she does not see herself. So, you know, that's why she has questions. It's kind of like, but girl, you have questions because, it's kind of like you're avoiding the truth that, you I don't know how to explain that shit. It's like his soul be confronting motherfuckers, like I don't know how to explain that shit. Like, girl, you don't think that you're sexy. You don't think point blank period. You don't think that you're sexy, but this guy thinks that you're sexy. So it's just like, well, that sounds like your problem. So it's nice, it's good. It would be good for her to ask questions. So it's kind of like she can see what he sees in her. Like, he can guide her into seeing more of herself clearly. And I mean, but I don't know. Well, yeah, I mean, I think that that's it. I think that that's it. I think that that is the hammer on the nail. Me personally, it's kind of like, well, let me see. Well, that's what you see, but that's not what I see. So just because you see that, is that really the truth? Is that really the truth? Is how you see me really the truth? Is that my truth? Is it the truth? God, this shit is crazy. Um, but to sum it in a nutshell, you know, it seems as if his attraction to her highlights her insecurities within herself. You know what I'm saying? Um, that shit, I ain't gonna lie though, I be getting mad too. I be getting upset when people be seeing stuff in me that I don't see about myself. I don't see about myself. I, I don't feel she's not upset. I don't get that she's upset at all. It's just she can't believe it. That's what I pick up from her. It's like she can't believe it. Like, what is it? Like, what is it? You know, I keep getting visuals. I'm talking about. It's like this man. He wants to suck toes. He wants to lick ass. That's why I'm saying it's giving freak. Oh my God. Why did I come? I came out here in the sun. So it's just, everything is just so much more clearer. You know, everything is just so much clearer. There's no hiding with this man. It's like who he is behind closed doors is who he is in the light. And I'm talking about with people that he loves and he trusts. And with the people that he loves and he trusts, individuals, they understand they understand how he's moving. They understand how he maneuvers. They understand why he has to be this way. Okay? So it's coming off like shy, like it's making her shy, it's making her like bashful, it's kind of humiliating her a little bit too, you know because it's kind of like, well, how can you move confidently with somebody when they're highlighting your insecurities? So you're forced to face your insecurities and figure out what is it about yourself that you feel this lack of desire for yourself. But yet, there's this man who has all of this desire for you. It's beautiful. I think that that's beautiful. That's a beautiful thing. I mean, sometimes, like like women can be very insecure sometimes about their midriff. I've seen women with um like their midriff is huge, and you know it's like a woman she'll, even if she doesn't like it, like her stomach being so big, she'll still wear her stomach out, like, so she's not that insecure, but it's kind of like the moment that a man embraces her about like her midriff, she thinks that he's trying to be funny on the low, or she thinks that, oh, he's being subliminal. It's like a trigger. But in all actuality, that man may really, like, he wants to squeeze it, and he wants to, cuz some men are like that, women too. It's like they want to get all up in it. They want to feel it, caress it, play with it. You know what I'm saying? So when you're insecure about it, because it's kind of like, well, why would you wear it out if you don't want the attention? So it's almost like a false, it's not a false confidence, but it's kind of like you're lying to yourself. But I think that most women already know that about themselves. I think that most women already know. It's kind of like, yeah, I know that my stomach, is big, and it, maybe I shouldn't be wearing this outfit, but I mean, I want to wear it. So she wears it. But the moment that she gets like a positive response from it, it triggers her into thinking like this dude is trying to be funny. So that's what I'm saying. It's like the guy is not trying to be funny. He actually likes all of that. I don't know. You know, some I'm trying to tell you, some men, they be liking certain things. You have men that like very heavy women. You have men that like really small women. You know, like the extremes are not favored. If you're too fat, nobody wants to fuck with you. If you're too skinny, nobody wants to fuck with you. So it's all about the in between. But there are some individuals, matter of fact, my neighbor, and you know what? Andrew is a Taurus too. Andrew loves women. He loves heavy women. He's an artist. All of his paintings are heavy, big women, naked women. And, the women that he has had, that I've seen in the past, they were heavy women. And he tells me, he says, that's what I like. And Andrew is, Andrew, he's a small guy. I said, ooh, he like all that woman. I was like, oh, baby. I said, Andrew got some secrets, honey. He can handle all that woman. But you would never guess, you would never know. Andrew is also a very handsome guy. So usually when it comes to handsome guys, you think that they're going for, somebody who's, like a good looking girl, with a nice looking body and all this type of stuff. But well, Andrew is an artist, so okay. He likes what he likes. And he is true to that. He is true to that. He is true to that. So that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. You know, I had a friend, and she was a little bit on the heavy side, and there was this guy. He was crazy about her, but she just did not want to accept it. She thought that he just had like a fetish, but it's not a fetish. He just likes what he likes, you know? So there's a difference between a fetish and somebody just liking what they like, or they just fall in love with a person just because of that person. But years ago, there was this, I used to work at this rib joint, and one of my managers, it was a white guy, and immediately he starts flirting with me, and he's embracing my blackness and all this type of stuff. So I'm just like, okay, you know, got a taste for some chocolate. So then I come into work, and I notice how he's flirting with all of the black women. So I'm just like, oh my God, he has a black girl fetish. So I got disappointed because I'm just like, right, he's not into me. He just has a black girl fetish. And he absolutely did. He had it's like he wants to experience black women, but he doesn't want me. Let's say it like that. He doesn't want me. He's more so fixated on his infatuation with black women. So it's not about me. So, that shit really hurt my feelings. I was just like, wow. And then he's around here talking to all the black women and calling them goddesses and all this type of shit like that. And I'm just like, wow. I thought that he liked me, but he was embracing the fact that I was black, you know? But no, he has like a black girl fetish, while he's actually out here dating white women. So I'm just like, okay. So there is definitely a difference between a fetish, somebody who just happens to fall in love with you based off of who you are, and then somebody just having a preference, you know? So I don't know why it was important for me to say that, but I said it. I'm not going to be sitting up here telling all my goddamn business. Mr. Sun. Okay? So, I mean, this woman and this man, it's the foundation emotionally. It's like friendship. They have a past life connection to each other with the Six of Cups here. So, I'm pretty sure he may be going through like past life triggers too, you know? So it's like every time he tries to plunge into a dark place, the past life triggers kind of wake him up, you know? Um, so yeah, with the Hermit card here, so he's very smart and he's very wise. He's also tapped in, okay. So he's tapped into the deities. So he's tapped into ancient wisdom and knowledge. Yeah, yeah, has to be, because it's just like, bruh, it's kind of like, it's like his spirit be speaking to people before they even it's like the moment that you step into his aura, in his space, it's like something speaks to you. You don't, if you're not in tune, then you don't know what it is. You're probably going to feel uneasy, or you're probably going to feel triggered within their presence, but something is speaking. Mm. there's some type of epiphany here too when it comes to communication. I really feel like this man, it's like he wants to get, privacy, something here about privacy and alone time, like nobody around. He doesn't want to take this woman to a restaurant. It's kind of like he gonna be ready to snap on her ass if she looks at another man for too long. You know, I don't I'm pretty sure he may have some jealousy issues, but at the same time, I think that it's about the respect. Like, girl, you see me sitting here, and you're sitting there, you're staring at that man. Like, is that where you want to be? Do you prefer to be over there? Then that's where you need to carry your ass. I agree with that. Like, what? It's nothing wrong with looking, but it's just like, for me personally, when it comes to a man, because men are very mental, it's just like, great, what? Are you going to be thinking about her when you're fucking me tonight? And especially with me being a priestess, you know, I'm always like, what's going on in his mind? That's one thing that I'm kind of always questioning. What is he thinking about? What's going on in his mind? You know. So, but yeah, and he doesn't want to feel the pressure. He doesn't want to feel, he doesn't want to be nervous. He doesn't want to be, cause I heard clumsy, you know. I'm the same fucking way. The same fucking way. When I'm nervous, I be clumsy as hell. You're gonna know, like you're gonna know. I feel like with this dude, you're gonna know. He doesn't want to feel like he's making a fool out of himself. He doesn't want to embarrass himself. You know, I feel like there's something about this woman to where he doesn't really deal with the heavy pressure of those things like he probably would with other women. So she probably makes him feel comfortable. He feels comfortable around her, she feel comfortable around him. I mean, whatever. So, but it's kind of like he, true to himself, he does not want to put himself in that position because he does not know how he's going to react or respond. It's still early in the connection. It's not exclusive. Maybe he wants to have a conversation, or he wants to talk to this woman about, being serious, even though it's early. You see, he already knows. He knows. So this woman is kind of like, well, this is really fast. How does he know? He knows. He knows. And he may have things going on in his life to where he cannot pussyfoot around. And he may have to explain to this woman, like, you can't pussyfoot around either. I think he's going for it. I think he's going for it. I think he wants to make it something serious. So, you know, he may understand like her confusion or her, his unbelievable, interest or attraction to her. So that's what I'm saying. It just is given like needing a nice quiet place with no interruptions or no distractions for them to be able to talk. Like he's serious. Like he wants to sit her down and like really talk to her. He really wants to get to know her. You know, it seems like he knows though. Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure he's going to make himself clear with the Ace of Swords. He wears a heavy crown. Okay, well that makes more sense. That makes more sense. That makes more sense. So I guarantee he kind of has like an old soul too. You know. Yeah. So he's pretty tapped in. That's what I pick up. He's pretty tapped in. Okay, well, I mean, that's it. That's all in which that I'm picking up for the reading. So until next time, we'll talk again. Thank you.